It is estimated that 3.2% of the Kenyan youth are killing themselves each year, higher than previous year. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Surprise 254, and today we're going to be talking about mental health, mental well-being, and I'm having a panel here. And before I can continue, I'll allow them to introduce themselves and from her.
I'm Kalunda.
I'm Ken.
I'm Kate. And my name is Sheila.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a very interactive show where we will be talking about mental health. Are you suffering from mental health? At the end of this show, you are going to know whatever you're facing is nothing. It's just something small. So, I'll start. Kalunda, have you ever been in a situation where you've had someone is being disturbed mentally? Have you ever been in that situation, or you yourself will shake over such a position?
Well, generally speaking about mental health, I do believe that in as much as you are a living human being, there are going to be issues here and there of life that are you're going to come across and face that are going to be sometimes overwhelming to either some extent or to a very great extent. So issues to do with health covers a really big scope. If we would start talking about health here and everybody giving the experience, then it would be like a very big discussion, because I do believe that even the small children, in as much as we are like, why would a small child or a young person have issues like, get to a point of even feeling depressed about something. But remember, at every stage that you have, we are trying to cope up with the new things, because you have never been here before. This is the first time you are 24, this is the first time you are 23. You've never been here before, you've never faced these challenges before, and in as much as you've had people talk about them or you have been told about them, experiencing them as a person is usually a whole lot of different levels. So yes, I am. And I do believe that everybody goes through it.
Okay, and Sheila, I'd like to ask you, how do you define mental illness to you?
I think mental illness is a state where you feel you're not okay. You're just general. You don't feel okay, not comfortable. Maybe what you're used to, what you're going through currently is different from what you're used to. That's what I think.
And in our country, Kenya, right now, it is estimated that 3.2% of the Kenyan youth are committing suicide. And guys, Kalunda, can you give me a reason why you think this is happening?
Well, going back to what I said initially, that at every stage you're experiencing new things, and coping up with that is what makes the difference. Because let's assume all of us go through probably a traumatic experience, like maybe involved in a road accident, per se, God forbid. The way everybody is going to handle it is going to be very different. I might come out of that experience, even though maybe we may not get hurt or something, but the fact that it has affected you to that extent, the way I am going to cope with it is very different from every one of you. I might take it lightly, and within a week or two or even a month, I'm totally okay, I've forgotten the experience and everything is okay with me. He might not take it like that. So depression that gets someone to even think of committing suicide is usually the coping mechanism of a person, because we all have different coping mechanisms. When you go through a traumatic experience or through challenge, there are people who prefer keeping quiet about them because they feel that opening up or speaking about them is like burdening someone. And if they keep piling that up with themselves, it will reach a point that it will pass. And once it passes, then it can be very, very fatal. And that is when now the issue of depression and suicide comes up. There's also who prefer talking about it. And once they talk about it, the intensity of the issue, in as much as maybe this problem will not be 100% solved, the intensity at which the issue is kind of reduces. So I would say that suicidal depression comes as a result of coping mechanism in a particular situation.
Okay, and I'd like to get the psychological aspect of it. Please, Madam Kate, kindly give us the definition of mental illness, and why is it that suicide among the youth is rising each and every day?
I would say that
mental illness is when a person is having issues emotionally, psychologically, and their social life, because it's like a strand that entangles. You cannot separate the emotions, psychological, how a person is thinking, and how they are feeling, because it's act, feel, and the way they behave. So if we are having an issue of mental illness, is when all those things are affected and they are not able to cope. There's anxiety, there is just like what can I say, there are pressures, there are issues that are surrounding them, and they're not able to rise above them. Because on the other side, mental health is when somebody is emotionally well, psychologically well, and socially well. But whatever stress, we call them stressors that are in their lives at that particular time, they are able to cope with them and rise above them and continue on with life. So there are those two sides, the illness and the mental health. That's what I would say.
Okay, so I think we've had this quote many times. Life is full of ups and downs. So you two are talking about something that relates to each other. I think, I don't know if it's only our situation there, generally everyone, but we keep being told life is full of ups and downs. When the ups come, everyone is happy, everyone is content. But when the downs come, we don't know what to do. So I think maybe we just better explain to us how can we do it.
What I would say as a psychologist is to be aware. When you operate from a place of knowledge, you know there's an up and there's a down. That is the way life is. But now, there's some people, it's like they shut off. They're not true to themselves. They're not real. They always want to be high. They just want to be up. Like there's someone who puff and run, and you just want to be high somewhere there. But realistically, life is up. When you operate from a place of knowledge, you know I'm going to go up, I'm going to go down. So you know, you expect, you are prepared, you're intentional about it. So that when you're up, you're happy about it. Then when you're down, you also know what to do. So that you're not caught unawares. Because this catching unawares is when somebody now is not able to cope. Like, let me give you for example, there's a young man who I'm talking to just a few hours ago. He has now been broke all his life. He has lived a good life, a soft life. The parents provided for him. After high school, he didn't wait. He got a job. He's earning good money. After that, he has always had money. Then one incident, he doesn't have money. So he doesn't know what to do. He has no money. He can't pay rent. He can't account where he went. He went for a party. He spent all his money. He's looking at his person. He has never. Now this is the time now he's down. So what does he do? He locks himself in the house and tries to kill himself. Because for this one time, he has never had a metipata, had a person. So what does he do? And because all the time he has but if he ever prepared himself, life is not like that. Life is up and down. There is a time I have money and there is a time I don't have money. But, and asking yourself, not that I don't have money, I have a roof above me, I have a family, I have my mother, I have my friend. Because you're asking him, what would you call your mom? If you needed, like, let's say 20K, you would have called your mom, told him, I'm tight here, I don't have rent, instead of killing yourself. Now, that is when he's remembering, oh. So, that kind of just being aware, the way life is.
Okay, let's get the Christian, the religious side of it. Pastor Ken, kindly give us something.
Yeah, first of all, just to echo what my panelists have said, the mental health revolves around three broad aspects. That is the emotional, the psychological, and the social well-being. How you relate to others, how you react to issues, and how you control your emotion, the aspect of self-control. But you find out from a spiritual aspect or from a spiritual angle, all these things are targeting one thing in a man, the spiritual man. So once you're able to strengthen the spiritual man, you'll be able to conquer the three aspects that can cause mental illness. But if you're spiritual man, what you feed yourself spiritually, what spiritual content do you acquire? How is your spiritual life? How serious are you about Christianity? How knowledgeable are you? What knowledge do you have? What wisdom do you have? And what insight do you have? And the confidence that you have in God determines your ability to overcome depression, stress, burnout, and such things. Because the truth is, everyone is prone to mental illness. At one point or another, you'll find yourself depressed. You'll find yourself going through issues. Life is not always a joyride. There are issues that will hit you unexpectedly. They'll get you unawares. But the Bible tells us that the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear. He has given us a spirit of power. So we have authority over everything that revolves around us. That is one. Then He has given us a spirit of love. We are able to take care of the surroundings. We are able to take care of people that we relate with in the right way. Then thirdly, He has given us a spirit of sound mind. That's the third spirit that we should always make sure that we are in line with. The spirit of sound mind is a spirit that enables us to make the right decisions whenever faced with challenges in life. So the three spirits have to be operational in our lives for us to have a proper state of mental health. You should operate from power, from the power aspects that God has given us. We should operate with love for us to conquer the social well-being aspect of our mental health. Then we should operate from the emotional and the psychological. We should operate from a sound mind so that we make the right judgments. We judge and handle things wisely with a lot of wisdom, with a lot of care and love. So everything I always tell people that I meet that the Bible is one book that has all answers to everything that we're going through. So it's true, people get depressed, even pastors, even generals in the body of Christ get depressed. But how they handle it depends on the level and the intimacy they have with God, the revelation that they have with the God that they serve. If you can be able to know the God that you serve, if you can be able to have a genuine trust and faith in the God that you serve, you can overcome these situations that come in our lives. But if you're shaking your Christian life, it's like you're guessing. You don't know, you're not sure of your God, you're not sure if the God you're serving is powerful. You will be swayed by any wave that comes your way. By the way, waves can never drown someone. But it's your panic in the wave. It's your reaction to the waves. Because a wave is just rising and lowering tide. It will not take you anywhere. But when you panic, when you are in a storm, that's when troubles kick in. But if you have faith, you are strongly built in the firm foundation that is Christ. You have a hope. The difference between someone the difference between a believer and an unbeliever is a believer has somewhere to run to. A believer has a fallback plan. They have somewhere that they can place their hope in. And where depression overcomes someone is when people lose the aspect of hope. They lose faith and hope. And once you lose hope in life, you're finished. There's almost no remedy for you. So I think for us to overcome the mental illness aspects, I know there are some mental illness that is biological. Some of them is out of the heredity issues, but 90% or most of the psychological issues that we face, they are from the social and emotional aspect. They are not biological. So the social and even the biological can be cured by approaching it from a spiritual angle. So I think if we are able to get to a conscious point of realizing how powerful our God is, instead of magnifying the issue that we are facing, we can be able to overcome mental illness, depression, stress, burnout, and whatever kind of oppressions that we face on earth. But that doesn't mean that the world is always smooth.
He claimed it all. And let me get into the next point. We all have male friends, right? And it is always said that men are the ones who suffer more mentally than the ladies. And men are the ones who kill themselves more brutally. You hear stories that a man strangled himself, a man stabbed himself several times and then he stabbed the wife. Women, or it is always said that women always take the easier side. They swallow pills, they take the easier way, but for men, they don't talk. Guys, what do you say about this? I'll start with you.
I think actually it's true what you're saying, and I think we're studying that evidence, and it says that men are 4 times more likely to kill themselves when they're going through that depression stage. So what I think we need to put out there is that number 1, it's okay for a man to be wrong. Number 2, it's okay for men to cry. Like, we need to stop having this whole, like men are they have emotions. Men have feelings. We need to accept that. Men need to talk. Men need to talk to their fellow men. And another thing, for us, the other gender, we also need to make the men in our life more comfortable to come to us and tell us, I have this issue. We have a lot of, especially our generation, we have a lot of people out there who go like, all this thing, mwanaume anafaa kuwa, I think we should just abolish that. Okay, men are humans, men are just like us. We have feelings, men can cry, men can be vulnerable, right? We have 2 gents here. So we need to abolish that whole, we need to make men be more comfortable, to put themselves out there, to come out and say, like, I'm going through this issue. Can you help me? It's okay. That's what I'm saying.
Kalonda, give me.
Well, okay, so looking at our society, generally the African society, let me talk about African society, but it cuts across, yeah? So African society is a patriarchal society. Patriarchal, what does that mean? It means that ever since the time that, since our great-grandfathers and great-great-great-grandparents started, men have always been considered to be like the head. And because of that, because of the men being considered as the head and that they're supposed to be, assume masculine power in every kind of situation, that has sort of put a particular level of pressure on them. So they feel that they are pressured to not to cry, they are pressured to always be the strong ones in the room. They are pressured to always appear that they have it all. And this is something that I feel that as a society, we do it unintentionally, starting from a very tender age. Because 2 babies will be playing, okay, a girl and a boy, and they hurt each other. Then the girl will be crying. Then the mother will be okay. Baby girl, stop crying. The mother will pamper the girl. And then the boy will be told, no, don't cry, when mwanaume. And they will not receive exactly the same treatment. And yet both of them have been hurt. So this baby boy grows up knowing that it is a mistake to cry. You cannot cry when you are hurt. And it always starts from there. Because by the time this man is growing up to become a full-grown man in a way that when they are going through issues, they don't feel like talking about it, it means it's something that has already been there. It has been psychologically implanted in them ever since they were little boys. So when you're hurt, you can't cry. When you go to school and you're in a mistake and you are getting punished, you cannot scream when the girls are screaming because you're a man. And it appears like a very small thing, but the kind of pressure that builds with time is very, very intense. And I am really glad that our today's generation is coming up and bringing a new perspective about mental health and everything. And also another thing that I feel that we as a society have neglected is the mental health. When you go to school, you are taught on how to take care of our intellectual health, by reading, gaining knowledge and information and all that. We are taught on how to take care of our physical body. We're supposed to brush our teeth. We're supposed, to trim our nails and keep them clean. We're supposed to dress up well. How to take care of your mental health. Yes, that is where everything starts. Because whether we are saying it loud verbally or not, everybody is going through something. And it is that ignorance that has caused even the society to be where it is right now. Because you assume that the moment a person appears to be happy, they come and they're all smiles and everything is okay with them. But behind the scene, this person is battling lots of things. But because the society that has not spoken about it loudly, like it is okay to be heartbroken and try to talk about it. It is okay for a man to be heartbroken and cry. Why do we put so much pressure on male gender? And also it is said that, which is actually of benefit to the female gender, that men, of course women talk more than men. And when a woman has issue, it is very easy for them to open up. Like you can get into a matatu, you have never seen this lady before, and then you just start a conversation and she's there telling you about what happened with her husband yesterday, or a lady who's telling you about the issues they had with her boyfriend the previous night or that day, and yet you don't know her. But for a man to open up even to the people close to them, it usually takes a lot of, I would say, courage for a man to open up. But again, going back to what I started with, is because of that patriarchal and masculine notion that the society has implanted ever since we were small. So we need to make it like to normalize, sharing out our issues, because if you don't share them out, we might not be easy to notice what's happening or what's wrong with you. So it is okay to speak about what you are going through, because at the end of the day, everybody is battling something. Another thing that I would like to say, nothing in this life is a matter of death and life. Imagine nothing. That pressure that you're feeling at that moment, if you could just breathe in and just remind yourself that it is not a matter of life and death when this relationship doesn't work. It is not a matter of life and death if I don't get this job. It is not a matter of life and death if my house gets, closed today because I've not paid the rent. I can still figure it out. But now we usually find ourselves with this pressure of feeling like, if I don't get this job, I'm gone. If I don't get to marry this girl or this relationship doesn't work, I am dead. If I don't get money for fare tomorrow or the house rent or food and everything, I am going to die. Imagine nothing is a matter of life and death in this life. If you could just breathe in and take off that pressure from yourself, I think that would take you another place.
Thank you very much, Kalunda. Giving you guys the religious side of it and the professional side of it psychologically. Madam Kate, boys, men don't talk. What do you have to say about it? Why?
The reason is the way men are socialized, boys and girls, from the young age, according to nature, that environment, what to play with. They're not supposed to play with dolls, the girls, they want to play with cars. There's that socialization in the nature, the way that the boys are told not to cry, this is what you should wear, this is the kind of job you should do, this is the kind of career you should follow. When a boy who wants to do beauty, no one supports him, maybe that is his talent or his gift. So I would say we have to come back to the root issue, the socialization. How do we socialize our boys since when they are young? The boy should learn, I'm an emotional person, I'm an emotional being. It is okay to cry. I can fail, I can choose to do something that is feminine. It is okay. I can do hairdressing, and a girl can be an engineer, she can play football. So that kind of socialization, we need to go back there, socialize the next generation that is coming differently, so that the men are given space to be themselves, to cry, to show weakness. It's okay to be weak. It's okay not to have any clue, have no idea. You don't, because what we say about human beings, they learn. Behavior is learned and learned. So the boys who have been socialized wrongly, and they're already grown up, and now they are youths, you can't say there is hope for them. the people who are there, or the women who are with other gender, can also give them space to express themselves because they need a safe space. What the men need is a safe space because they don't talk as much as women. They are not created wire like women can say a million words as compared to one word. So if a man doesn't feel safe, he will not talk. So the women around or the other gender needs to have structures or mechanisms so that the person can open up and not be looked at funny or judged. So that's what I would say.
Yes.
Okay. Summarize.
I'll take it back to Genesis, where man first appeared on earth. And I think it was from there that men took a perspective of life that isn't correct. Imagine a situation where Adam and Eve, why is he hiding? If he would have given the right answer, but he thought in his mind that it is wrong for a man to be on the wrong side. So he gave an excuse of it is the lady that you gave me. So men even from Genesis, they've tried to put out a picture that they're always right. Everything is going on, they can manage, they can handle the situation, but men ought to be told, you never weak by opening up. It never makes you a lesser man by coming out true and saying this is what I'm going through. But the society also somehow has played its part. Has played its part on weakening the man unconsciously. The boy child is being weakened, but unconsciously. There's still the figure, the leader figure. There's still the stronger gender in the society, but in reality, men are no longer strong in society. They are just ceremonial. They have evaded their responsibility, and the girl child is being glorified more. Currently, if you go to an interview, a man and a lady, to the same interview, the same qualifications, and both of you excel in the interview, chances of the boy child being taken compared to the chances that the lady will be taken up, the boy child has very slim chances of being taken up. So the society, by trying to protect the girl child, they miss to strike a balance. They put more emphasis on the girl child to an extent that the boy child suffers silently. No one is there to stand up for the boy child. No one is there to give an ear to the boy child. So that's where the society is failing. So the society also has, and also the ladies are good at playing the victim. So in as much as we blame the boy child, the ladies also are good at playing the victim of all the narrative. So whenever there is a mess, the blame will always go to the man, because biblically, men were given the leadership role. They were given the responsibility. In fact, in the Bible, when God was in Genesis 1, I think verse 28, they have dominion, subdued. The instruction wasn't given to both. It was given to the man. That is where people get it wrong. So man was given responsibility from the word go. So once the man, the boy child evades or absconds from the responsibility that they are given, that's when they will suffer. They'll suffer on their own. They won't have the strength to open up, because the responsibility that they are given, either it's too hard for them, or they've gotten to like a lexical state that they are no longer passionate about the responsibility that they are given, the leadership they are given. They have evaded the roles that they were given as men. And the society still expects men to be at the forefront, men to show leadership, men to give direction, to give counsel. And naturally, men don't talk a lot. Men will always suffer. So it's upon the society to question or to bring men into accountability. Hata ukiangalia church, whenever an altar call is brought upon, whether near salvation, whether near special needs, you'll find more ladies, because naturally or biologically, ladies break up emotionally easier compared to men. Men are the tough guys in the room. And as a kuana suffer, hata altar call the sick people. A man might walk into a church limping, evidently sick, but they'll never show up for prayers. But ladies, hata kuna mwenye, they are just guessing maybe they are not well, they are not feeling well, they'll show up for the altar call. So men have to know that you are not a lesser man by showing your true emotions, by coming out openly that you're suffering. Otherwise, we'll lose a lot of men, and in the generations to come, the girl child will have an upper hand compared to the men. So men ought to take their rightful position, show leadership, but at the same time, they should know that they should bust the narrative that by showing your true emotions, you're being weak. You're not being weak. In fact, you're stronger because you get help and you'll be able to function better as a man. That is my perspective on it.
It's okay not to be okay. Ladies and gentlemen, as I summarize this show, it was a very interactive and very informing. Now you know that it's not okay. It's okay not to be okay. For the men, it's okay to cry. And for the ladies, speak out. So whatever you're going through, it's never, ever such a big deal. Like Alunda has said, if you could just breathe in kidogo, and then you will be okay. Ladies and gentlemen, see you next time, same place, as we continue with this very topic, mental well-being.